Hi, I'm Hunter Irving, and if you're subscribed to this channel, it's probably because of this video, where I showed off my 3D printed Nintendo LABO waveform cards. A few of you may have noticed there was a link in the description to a blog post, where I talked a bit more about how I actually made these cards. But who are we kidding? If you're on YouTube, it's to watch YouTube videos. So here's a follow-up. Please take a look. So to start off, we're going to download some software. I'll be using FL Studio this time, mainly because they have a sound font player, but you can use any software you like. And the free version of FL Studio will work fine for this. Next, we're going to grab Sound Card Oscilloscope, which is an oscilloscope emulator that we can use to visualize these sounds as we play them. And lastly, we're going to head over to williamcage.com and download some Super Nintendo sound fonts. These are basically just instrument packs, with instruments ripped from their respective games. And once we've got everything downloaded, it's time to start digging for samples.
I miss you.
So we're getting a little sidetracked here, but this is kind of cool. Earthbound is known for sampling the Beatles, Monty Python, and tons of other stuff. But this one's actually a Beach Boys sample. Have a listen. And if you listen closely, you might hear it turn up in some more modern games. But unfortunately, we won't be able to capture this sound with a waveform card. And here's why. LABO treats each waveform card you give it as a periodic or repeating wave, meaning we can't make sounds like these, but we can make sounds like these. So after about an hour of going through samples, I decided on these four waveforms. A bass from Kirby's Dream Land 3, another bass from F-Zero, a tuba from Kirby's Dream Land 3, and this cool reed sound from Super Mario RPG. Now all that's left to do is take a screenshot of the wave, crop it down to one period, trace it to an SVG, extrude the SVG to a three-dimensional shape, export that as an STL, convert the STL to G-code, and we're ready to print. Anyone who's been 3D printing for a while will tell you it's good luck to keep one of these nearby. And two couldn't hurt. So while that's printing, let's briefly go over how this thing actually works, since a few people asked last time. The Switch's right Joy-Con has 4 infrared LEDs and an infrared camera, which can detect infrared light invisible to the human eye. By bouncing infrared light off of these reflective stickers, it can detect key presses and the motion of switches and knobs. This is also how it determines the shape of a waveform card. None of these sounds are built in. They're all generated directly from the cards you put in. So, how do these cards turn out? The Kirby's Dream Land 3 tuba might be my favorite. It turned out pretty close to the real thing. And here's the Kirby's Dream Land 3 bass. So it seems like the Switch's infrared camera is not detailed enough to pick up these fine details on the F-Zero card. It still sounds pretty good, just not in the way I intended. And here's the Super Mario RPG reed that we sampled. Oh, and one more thing. Many of you online asked if it would be possible to create a waveform card from human speech, and while there's nothing periodic about this waveform, I noticed that there was something roughly periodic about the 5 vowel sounds when spoken alone. So, I made some more cards. And by layering component vowel sounds, we can actually approximate human speech. Alright, this is the last thing, I promise. Here's a comment from Rezum, who said, "I want to see a legitimate artist use this to make music for at least one song." Well, I don't know about legitimate artist, but I think it's worth a shot.
I'm on Patreon, here's a link to my blog. Shout out to my best friends for helping me along.